Hey, what is up guys? My name is Oleg, this is Bond. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a full review of Tisell Submersible. It's another Rolex Submariner homage. It's third one in my collection. So why the hell did I buy a third Rolex Submariner homage? Well, let me explain. I have the Tisell Marine Diver. This one is an homage to a modern Rolex Submariner, and I think it's a really good homage, almost a copy if you will. The specs are fantastic, and I will compare the two watches in the future videos. Then I have the Phoebus PY007, and that watch is fantastic in its own right because it is an homage, but it has enough of unique elements that makes the watch different to a Rolex Submariner. So I decided to get the third Rolex Submariner homage, the Submersible, and that's the watch we're going to review today. Now the reason why I got this one, because it's an homage to a vintage Rolex Submariner reference 5513, and probably my favorite Rolex Submariner watch. So it is a vintage watch homage and it is a diver. And if you follow the channel for a while, you know that I love the sound of both of those things. So is it the best homage? I don't think so, but it is my favorite. So let's get into the review. Tisell Submersible. Let's start the review, as always, by looking at the basic dimensions. We have a diameter of 40 millimeters, a lug-to-lug width of 47 millimeters, a lug width of 20 millimeters, and the thickness of 13 millimeters. Clearly, this watch here is a Rolex Submariner homage, or a copy, depending on your point of view. Rolex Submariner reference 5513 would run you $15,000 to $20,000 depending on condition, depending on the rarity of the piece. This one here is $230, a lot of savings. And for your $230, you get quite a bit of value. First of all, you get a stainless steel case with a stainless steel bracelet. The case has brushing on the top and polished finish on the sides. The same thing goes for the bracelet. We have brushed top and polished sides, just like the original Rolex Submariner. The brushing is done really well. It looks great. You also get a domed sapphire crystal, as I mentioned earlier. It does have some AR coating applied, and the distortion angles you get with this watch are fantastic. I have a couple of different Rolex Submariner homage watches in my collection, plus I have experience with quite a few Rolex Submariner original watches. I should have actually a review of one coming soon. And I gotta tell you, I love the look of the domed crystal on a Submariner case. It looks amazing, and when you wear it on your wrist, it just fits so well with this design. I wish they would bring back the domed crystal to the new models of Rolex Submariner watches. Almost as much as I love that domed crystal, I love the painted dial. So we don't have applied indices like in a lot of other Rolex Submariner homages. This one here is actually painted on. It's a C3 lume, and the lume is great. Let me pop a lume shot on the screen right now. Yeah, it's fantastic. It holds for a long time. There are quite a few different layers of lume applied, and I love that artificially aged look of lume to this watch paired with the domed sapphire crystal. I really love the look. I also like the contrast between the white and the black, the red writing of Submersible and the black dial. It just looks amazing. This watch has a 120 click ceramic matted bezel. I do like that it is ceramic. It looks great. The matted look looks fantastic. It's much better than the shiny. I think it looks better with this specific design, although I understand if you like the shiny ceramic bezel better. However, the bezel action is not that great. It's alright. I think on video it looks and sounds worse than it is in person, but it's not fantastic. There is a little bit of backplay. Not much, but enough to get annoying. So I guess the bezel action would be my first negative for this watch. The positive about this bezel action and the bezel itself is the fact that it does actually align properly. At the 3 o'clock position, we have a signed crown with a T for Tisell. It is a screw down crown. The crown action and the crown thread is actually really good. It's very satisfying. First position is hand winding. So this watch is powered by Miyota 90S5 movement, a high beat movement with 24 joules, 42 hours of power reserve, and it beats at 28,800 beats per hour. So it is a high beat movement with hacking and hand winding. So as soon as we pull it out to the first position, the seconds hand stops ticking because it is a hackable movement. The watch is running very accurately. I'm getting plus 3 seconds per day, which is fantastic. I am very happy with the accuracy of this watch. And I like that Tisell actually went for a no date movement. They actually took that extra step and went for the Miyota 90S5 instead of going for the Miyota 9015, the date version of the same movement, which would be done with a lot of other micro brands, just taking that shortcut. And I appreciate that they didn't take the shortcut. They actually went with the movement that doesn't have a date complication. And I do like that this watch doesn't have a date. It makes the dial more symmetrical. It also makes it easier to wear, at least for me, because this is not my everyday watch. In fact, having a large watch collection doesn't allow you to have one everyday watch, because I feel bad that other watches are not getting enough wrist time. So keep on switching watches. I do appreciate watches that don't have a date function. This way I don't have to set a date. I can just put it on my wrist, set the time, and go. Quite a few praises, quite a few positives of this watch. One of the biggest negatives, at least for me, is the bracelet. Don't get me wrong, it does have solid links with the solid end links. It even has a screw pins, which is rare to find in a watch for under $300. However, I really hate this protruding first lug. As you can see, the first link on the bracelet protrudes quite a bit. It adds quite a bit of width to the overall width of the watch. So without it, I think the watch would look a lot better. It would look a lot more refined and more expensive. With it, it's not terrible, but it is noticeable enough to bug me. Something that I do appreciate about this bracelet is how it tapers in. So it's going down to about 16 millimeters here, which is a very nice taper. So it fits the wrist really nicely, and it is a very comfortable watch to wear. I love the clasp. Again, it's very comfortable, very easy to operate. It does have 3 micro adjustments right here. So you can see I have it in the second hole, and there's one more to adjust it exactly to your wrist size. The watch does not have the glide lock mechanism. It also doesn't have a diver extension. The Tisell Marine Diver, the other Rolex Submariner Homage that I have from Tisell, does have a glide lock mechanism, and I wish this watch had one as well, but oh well. So what are my final thoughts on this watch? I really like it. I think this is my favorite Rolex Submariner Homage that I own or ever have owned. Notice I didn't say it's the best Rolex Submariner Homage, but it is my favorite. I love that domed sapphire crystal. I love the look of the aged lume, and the lume is really bright. Something that I enjoy about this watch. I also like that it is a painted dial and not applied indices. Something special about that. The bracelet is very comfortable, even though it has this protruding link. The finishes are pretty good. They're not outstanding, but for the price, perfectly acceptable. High beat movement, a lot to like about this watch. And here's what the watch looks like on my 7¼ inch wrist. You can see the protruding lugs are kind of hidden now on the wrist. It's not as bad. I love how this watch looks on the wrist. It feels very comfortable. All right, guys, so that was the full review for the Tisell Submersible. I really like this watch. As I said already, it's not the best Rolex Submariner Homage, but it is my favorite. Really enjoy wearing this watch. In fact, I like it so much that I'm gonna sell the Tisell Marine Diver. I like this watch as well. It's a great watch. I have it for about a year now, but I think I don't need that many Submariner homages in my collection. I'm gonna keep the Phoebus and I'm gonna keep the Submersible and sell Marine Diver. But before I sell Marine Diver, I will do a comparison between the two watches in case any of you guys are interested in getting either one of them. You can see both side by side and see the differences between the two watches and make up your mind. So that video is to come in the future. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss it. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how many is too many Submariner homages. I think 2 is enough. 3, probably an overkill. But let me know what you think. I always enjoy reading your comments. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing my Phoebus Eagle Ray. Really like this watch. I did a full review for it. Of course, that video can be found on the channel. And currently, I'm wearing it on a rubber strap that came with the watch. Also in the description, there is a secret link. Check it out. I think you like this one. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.